Jean Hackman, the legendary actor known for playing iconic roles like Lex Luthor in Superman, has sadly passed away at the age of 95. But what the FBI discovered when they checked out his mansion in New Mexico left everyone stunned. It turns out there was way more hiding behind those walls than anyone expected. Inside the property, they found the bodies of Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, which raised a lot of questions about the actor's private life and whether there was more to the story than meets the eye. Was it an old unsolved mystery, a lost treasure, or something darker altogether? As more details are being uncovered, the world is left wondering, what was Jean Hackman really like when the cameras weren't rolling? Join us as we dive into the shocking discovery at his mansion. The deaths of Jean Hackman and his wife Betsy have sparked a cloud of suspicion. Their bodies were found in their sprawling home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and at first, authorities thought it might have been a case of carbon monoxide poisoning with no signs of foul play. But things took a surprising turn when investigators started calling their deaths suspicious, launching a full investigation into what really happened. The discovery was made by two maintenance workers who showed up for a routine checkup at the house. They were shocked to find the front door wide open and two dogs running loose around the property. Even more baffling was the fact that a dead dog was found locked inside a crate. It quickly became clear that Jean and Betsy had been dead for a long time before anyone found them, thanks to the mummified state of their bodies. Betsy was found in the bathroom, lying on the floor near a countertop, with pills scattered everywhere and an open pill bottle nearby. This raised even more questions. Had she overdosed? Had she had some kind of medical emergency? Or was something darker at play? One investigator who had seen it all in his career said, "None of this is adding up. It's strange. I've worked on thousands of death cases, and it's unusual for two people to die at the same time without some big cause." When federal investigators arrived at the scene, they were left speechless. One insider said, "You expect to see bodies in this job, but this was something else. The level of decomposition was like time had frozen in that house." Everyone was asking how two such famous people could go unnoticed for so long, especially with their bodies in such a state. Now, authorities are waiting for the autopsy results to give them more answers. Right now, they're keeping all options open. It could have been natural causes, an accident, or even something far more sinister. Jean Hackman, who was 95 at the time, was one of Hollywood's most beloved actors. He won Oscars for The French Connection and Unforgiven, and starred in over 80 films. Fans loved him as Lex Luthor in the Superman movies and in the quirky Royal Tenenbaums. Whether he was in a serious drama, an action-packed thriller, or cracking jokes in comedies like Get Shorty, Hackman's range was incredible. He retired from acting a while ago, but his legacy lives on. In 2009, Jean Hackman, citing health issues, decided to step away from the spotlight. His last appearance at an award show was back in 2003 when he received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes. Fast forward to 2023, and Jean was spotted in public for the last time outside a restaurant in New Mexico with his wife Betsy. He looked frail, leaning on a cane and holding his wife's arm for support. When news of his passing broke, it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow, who starred alongside Hackman in the Royal Tenenbaums, shared a heartfelt tribute on social media, posting a picture of them together with a broken heart emoji. After their bodies were found, authorities called in the New Mexico Gas Company to check for any gas leaks, as carbon monoxide poisoning was initially thought to be the cause. However, after inspecting all the gas lines, they found no issues. The investigation is still ongoing, with authorities waiting for autopsy and toxicology results. They've assured the public they will uncover the truth behind this tragic and mysterious situation. So, what happened in Jean Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's home in their final days? Could the strange details surrounding their deaths point to a deeper mystery? When the bodies of Jean and Betsy were discovered, there were signs that they had been dead for some time. Their bodies showed signs of drying out, which made people question just how long they had been gone. Some think their deaths may have been from natural causes or an accident. When deputies first arrived, they found the couple's front door wide open. This raised some eyebrows. Did they leave it open themselves because they weren't feeling well? Or was someone else in the house before the police showed up? Inside the house, Jean Hackman was found in a small room near the back door. It looked like he had fallen, as his cane and sunglasses were lying nearby. Betsy, on the other hand, was found in the bathroom on the other side of the house. A space heater had been knocked over, and pills were scattered on the counter next to an open prescription bottle. The couple had 3 pets. 2 of them were still alive, but 1 dog was found dead inside a carton. The fact that 2 dogs were alive suggests they had food and water for a while, but the dead dog likely died from starvation and thirst, which supports the theory that Jean and Betsy had been dead for days, maybe even weeks. Experts say that prolonged exposure to warm, dry air can cause skin to become leathery or stiff, and this typically takes a few days or weeks. It's possible that the couple had passed away some time ago. The exact temperature and air quality in the house aren't clear, but the space heater near Betsy suggests the heating could have made the air drier, speeding up the process. However, until further testing is done, the exact time of death remains a mystery. Authorities have ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning since the gas company and fire officials found no leaks, and the autopsy confirmed this. There were also no signs of forced entry, and neither of the bodies had any visible injuries. Despite this, investigators are keeping all possibilities on the table. Some have even speculated that one of them might have taken the other's life before ending their own. However, in cases like that, people usually leave notes or arrange things in a certain way, which doesn't appear to be the case here. One theory that's been circulating is that Jean and Betsy may have chosen to end their lives together, possibly because of health concerns. In cases like this, couples sometimes take an overdose while lying next to each other. But since they were found in separate rooms, this idea doesn't fully add up either. The police are also looking through their phone records, emails, and medical visits to check if anything unusual happened in the days leading up to their deaths. Some have even wondered if another person was involved. While there were no signs of forced entry, the open door does raise the question of whether someone else might have been inside the house. Whether they were a visitor, someone who found the couple earlier, or even someone with harmful intentions. For now, the cause of their deaths is still up in the air. Whether it was a tragic accident, a mutual decision, or something else entirely remains to be seen. Until the medical tests are complete, the mystery surrounding Jean Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's deaths will continue to make people wonder what really happened. Jean Hackman's daughter, Elizabeth, has shared her thoughts on her father's passing at 95, and she thinks carbon monoxide poisoning might have played a part in the couple's deaths. In an interview with TMZ, Elizabeth mentioned that toxic fumes could have been the cause. The gas company is working alongside authorities to help investigate what happened. Elizabeth spoke with the Daily Mail after her father's passing, saying that despite his age, he had always been in great shape. She explained that there were no signs of health problems before his death, which led her to think a gas leak or carbon monoxide poisoning could have been involved. Although Jean's passing at 95 wasn't too surprising, Betsy Arakawa's death at 63 raised many more questions. Elizabeth described their marriage as very happy and said, "I believe Betsy played a big part in keeping him going." She talked about how much Betsy cared for Jean, always making sure he was doing well. "Betsy took very good care of him, and I'm really grateful to her. I'm very sad that she's gone," she added. Elizabeth Hackman is one of Jean's 3 children from his first marriage to Faye Malt. The two were married from 1956 until their divorce in 1986. Faye passed away in 2017. Jean later married Betsy in 1991, and after leaving Hollywood, he kept a pretty low profile, rarely seen in public. Jean Hackman made a rare public appearance when he attended a comedy show in the same city. His daughters, Elizabeth and Leslie, along with his granddaughter Annie, are heartbroken over his passing. In a statement to People, they shared, "With heavy hearts, we share the sad news of our father, Jean Hackman, and his wife, Betsy's passing. While millions admired him for his incredible acting, to us, he was simply dad and grandpa. His loss leaves an emptiness that words cannot fill, and we are truly devastated." Many well-known stars are also remembering John's incredible legacy, including Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman. Eastwood, who directed and starred alongside Hackman in the 1992 Western Unforgiven, shared his thoughts saying, "No actor was more talented than Jean. His performances were always real and powerful, never anything less than perfect." He continued, "More than that, he was a close friend, and I will miss him deeply." The news of Jean Hackman's passing came as a shock to many, but he leaves behind a legacy that will be remembered for generations. But how did an ordinary man like Hackman become one of Hollywood's most respected actors? Let's take a look back at his legendary career and unforgettable legacy. Hackman kicked off his acting journey at the Pasadena Playhouse, a well-known art school in California. Back then, his peers weren't too impressed with him, even giving him the lowest chance of success. But instead of being discouraged, Hackman used their doubt as fuel to prove them wrong and show the world his true abilities. It was at Pasadena Playhouse that he became good friends with none other than Dustin Hoffman, another big name in Hollywood. Despite Hackman's undeniable passion, he had trouble finding work in the early stages of his career. Despite auditioning left and right, he kept getting turned down because of his acting style and appearance. But Hackman wasn't the type to give up. He kept pushing, working hard in theater productions and taking small roles in TV shows and films. Every role, no matter how small, helped him grow and improve. His first film role was Lilith, but it was Bonnie and Clyde that truly catapulted him to fame. In the film, he played Clyde's brother, Buck Barrow, and his performance was powerful and moving. He was nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and his talent didn't go unnoticed. That nomination was the turning point in his career, allowing him to break free from supporting roles and establishing himself as a rising star in Hollywood. Hackman's career really took off when he starred in The French Connection, 1971, playing the tough but morally complex police officer, Popeye Doyle. His portrayal of a man struggling with his own morals while dealing with danger was a standout performance. The film became a major hit and had a huge influence on crime movies that followed. Hackman's work in The French Connection earned him the Oscar for Best Actor, solidifying his status as one of Hollywood's biggest stars. After The French Connection, Hackman continued to take on significant roles in films that kept proving his versatility as an actor. His incredible range and ability to seamlessly transition from drama to action to comedy made him one of the most respected figures in Hollywood. In 1974, Jean Hackman worked with the legendary director Francis Ford Coppola in The Conversation. He played Harry Call, a surveillance expert battling with guilt and loneliness. This role gave Hackman the chance to really dig deep and show some powerful emotions. The film was even nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and critics raved about Hackman's performance, calling it one of his best. Throughout the 70s, Hackman starred in many iconic films like Scarecrow, where he acted alongside Al Pacino. The movie, which focused on the themes of friendship and loneliness, became even more touching because of the strong bond between the two actors. Then, in 1978, Hackman took on a completely different role, Lex Luthor in Superman, opposite Christopher Reeve. His portrayal of the villain was not only menacing, but also funny and clever, making Luthor one of the most memorable bad guys in movie history. This role proved that Hackman wasn't just great at playing serious characters, but could also entertain with his humor and charm. As his career hit incredible heights, Hackman continued to land unforgettable roles. But behind the scenes, the pressures of his career and the passing of time started to take a toll on his health. Let's take a look at Jean Hackman's silent struggles and his battle with health issues. In the early 90s, Jean Hackman was a busy man, acting in films like Loose Cannons, Postcards from the Edge, and Narrow Margin. But in 1990, at the age of 60, Hackman underwent a medical procedure to prevent a heart attack. He had an angioplasty, a procedure where a small balloon-like tube was inserted to clear a blocked artery near his heart. Doctors later said he was lucky to have gone in when he did, as the blockage was in a critical spot. They even said that Hackman was just hours away from a heart attack. Hackman himself shared in a 2004 interview with Larry King that he didn't fully understand how serious the procedure was at the time. He recalled, "I went in and came out the same day. It all happened very fast." When asked if he was scared, Hackman said, "Not really. I didn't fully understand how serious it was at the time." He added that his main concern wasn't the procedure itself, but making sure his family was taken care of. In a 2009 interview with Empire magazine, Hackman revealed that his heart health was actually the main reason he decided to retire from acting. "The doctor told me my heart wasn't in the right condition to handle stress," he shared. After retiring, Hackman found joy in activities like writing, fishing, painting, and watching budget films with his wife in New Mexico. He also co-wrote 3 historical fiction books with archaeologist Daniel Lanahan and wrote Western and crime novels on his own. As he put it, writing has a different kind of pressure. It's something you can control because you're alone, instead of having a whole film crew waiting for you to perform. Hackman's health struggles didn't stop there, though. In 2012, while riding his bike in Islamorada, Florida, he was hit by a car. Hackman, 81 at the time, wasn't wearing a helmet when a pickup truck collided with the back of his bike. Thankfully, it wasn't a major accident. The Florida Highway Patrol reported that Hackman was flown to a trauma center in Miami, but his spokeswoman later clarified that the truck only lightly hit him. He had a few minor bumps and bruises, but he was released from the hospital after just a few days. Now, with all the speculation about Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa's tragic deaths, some people are wondering if it was due to natural causes. Given their age and the health issues Hackman had faced over the years, it's possible that their deaths could have been the result of something natural, but the exact cause is still unclear. What do you think? Could their deaths have been caused by natural factors? Or do you think there might be something more mysterious at play? We'll have to wait for more information to find out.